New provisions to promote quality of consumer products and services. In order to ensure quality of products and services for common consumer, the government introduced Bureau of Indian Standards Bill 2015 in Parliament. It would replace 29-year-old Act. The new bill has been approved by the Lok Sabha, and in the new bill, provisions have been made for a simpler self-certification mechanism, mandatory hallmarking, product recall, and product liability for better compliance to standards. The bill aims to improve the ease of doing business, simplify conformity assessment schemes, and it would also include self-certification and market surveillance instead of inspectors visiting factories. This would end the Inspector Raj on standards. These new provisions will promote harmonious development of standardization activities. It will also enable the Government of India to bring a mandatory certification regime for goods and services which are considered vital from viewpoint of health, safety, environment, and prevention of deceptive practices. Provisions also have been made to prevent import of below par products. It would provide a mandatory hallmarking of precious metal articles, increased scope of conformity assessment, and enhancement of penalties and implications. The new bill has also made increased penal provisions for a better and more effective compliance and compounding of offence for violence. Now, the highlights of the new Bureau of Indian Standards Bill of 2015 can be summarized as under. The new bill provides for a recall, including product liability of products which are not conforming to the relevant Indian standards. There would be registration for manufacturers of electronic products to safeguard consumer or industry against substandard imports. Under the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan, steps have been taken to formulate and upgrade standards on potable water, street food, and garbage disposal. Now, in the same context, another important bill which would boost consumer protection is the Consumer Protection Bill of 2015. The Consumer Protection Bill of 2015 seeks to simplify and strengthen consumer grievance redressal procedures introduced in the Parliament this year. It sets up a central protection authority which will have powers to recall products and initiate class suit against defaulting companies. It also includes e-retailers. E-filing and time-bound admission of complaints in consumer courts is another important provision that has been made in the bill. Further, the government adopted a 6-point joint action plan for consumer awareness and protection. They are: jointly develop and implement industry standard for grievance redressal. Second, all members of the industry associations will partner with the National Consumer Helpline and State Consumer Helplines. 3. Launching of joint awareness campaigns. 4. Earmarking of corporate social responsibility funds for consumer welfare activities. 5. Developing a self-regulation code. And finally, action against fake substandard counterfeit products. In this regard, a joint campaign was organized with the health, financial services, and other departments for greater consumer awareness. Jago Grahak Jago campaign will be done with a special emphasis in rural areas. Further, an inter-ministerial monitoring committee also has been constituted to facilitate policy coherence and coordinated action on consumer key sectors, namely agriculture, food, healthcare, housing, financial services, transport. To tackle the menace of misleading advertisements, a dedicated portal of www.gama.gov was launched. It enables consumers to register their grievances against misleading advertisements in key sectors, that is, food, agriculture, health, education, real estate, transport, and financial services. The complaints lodged are taken up with the relevant authorities or the sector regulators, and the consumer is informed after the action taken. Now, to provide a host of consumer services under one roof, Grahak Suvidha Kendras have been launched in 6 locations, that is Ahmedabad, Bangalore, Jaipur, Kolkata, Patna, and in Delhi. That was in March 2015 itself. Such centers will be set up on every state in a phased manner. The government has also launched measures to ensure availability of essential food items at reasonable prices. In order to ensure availability of essential food items at reasonable prices, the government took following decisions recently. That is, Advance Action Plan is drawn to ensure availability of essential commodities and weekly monitoring meeting of an inter-ministerial committee, and that would be chaired by the Secretary of Consumer Affairs. The decision has been taken to procure pulses for creating a buffer stock. There would be a ban on export of all pulses except Kabuli chana and organic pulses and lentils. There will be zero import duty on pulses extended up to September 2016. And finally, the states and union territories are empowered to impose stock limits on onions and pulses to check hoarding and black marketing under the Essential Commodities Act of 1955.